from the Big Flem studio in Southern California. This is Big Flem's Pigskin Picks NFL edition with your host, Lorenzo Big Flem Fleming. Hey folks, what's going on? This is your host Lorenzo Big Flem Fleming coming to you once again with another episode of Big Flem's Pigskin Picks NFL edition for Wildcard Weekend 2020 here on Big Flem Radio and TV. We finally completed the regular season last weekend. Like I said, this is the first season under the new 17-game format. Like I said, some teams it helped, and in some cases, some teams it hurt. But that's done, and we moved on. And of course, a couple of coaches got fired this past week. Like I said, the coach of the Texans, he got fired after one season on the job. And of course, you know about how Urban Meyer and Jacksonville got fired at 15 games into the season, as well as the Raiders letting go John Gruden early part of the season. So, and there are some other casualties as well, stuff like that. So, hopefully there'll be new coaches to fill those vacancies for next season. And for those teams who didn't make the playoffs, hopefully they know what they need to do and what they need to draft in this upcoming NFL draft in April to help bolster their team. And hopefully they'll make the playoffs next season. But let's get back to the subject of hand, shall we? And let's focus on the wildcard games. This is the first time we'll have a 3-day wildcard game weekend. Normally it's a Saturday and Sunday, but with this new expanded schedule, now we have a Saturday, Sunday, and now a Monday wildcard game. All right, so let's get to it, shall we? And also, by the way, we want to dedicate this episode to the creator and host of Big Flem Radio and TV, yours truly, Lorenzo Wendell Fleming, aka Big Flem, on his 54th birthday today. Happy birthday! Happy birthday! And may God bless you with many more birthdays. Alright, so we got that out of the way, so now let's get busy, shall we? All right, our first matchup is getting ready to wrap up pretty soon. We have the Raiders go traveling to Cincinnati, the Bengals, the winners of the AFC North division, in the first game of the wild card weekend. Like I say, Joe Burrows, like I say, he really turned it around this season after missing last season, a lot of last season for blowing his knee out and everything. So, and of course the Raiders, like I said, they also had a very decent season this year as well. Like I said, in spite of the former head coach John Gruden situation, and of course recently in the past week and a half, the passing of one of the greatest NFL coaches and commentators, and the namesake of one of our favorite electronic game consoles, John Madden. The Raiders managed to hang in there and make the postseason as a wild card team. So, with that being said, we're going to go with the momentum, the Big Mo. We're going to pick the Bengals over the Raiders in a close one. And also, our second game of wild card weekend for Saturday, we have the wild card team, the Patriots, which is like a rarity for them, especially in the post-Tom Brady era of the Patriots, as they travel to Buffalo to take on the AFC East Division champion, the Buffalo Bills. And like I say, Josh Allen, like I say, he's doing real well there in Buffalo. And they managed to turn things around over the last 3 seasons, make things competitive for the Buffalo Bills, especially with Tom Brady leaving the Patriots to head south in the much warmer weathers down in Tampa, Florida. So, with that being said, and of course, Matt Jones, he did a pretty good job in his rookie year as quarterback for the Patriots. Former Alabama quarterback. He helped them win a national title last year. So, with that being said, we're going to go with experience. We're going to go with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills in the close one over the Patriots in tonight's second matchup for Saturday's Wildcard weekend. All right, let's move on to Sunday's matchup. We got 3 games on the plate for Sunday or tomorrow. The first game, we have the 9-8 Eagles, the Wildcards team from the NFC East. They travel down to Tampa, Florida to take on Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski and company, and Bruce Arians, and the defending Super Bowl champions as they open up the playoffs at home. Like I said, it's been a kind of up and down year for the Buccaneers, but like I said, they managed to win the NFC South and had a 13-4 record. Even though they struggled against the New Orleans Saints, the Aints in the NFC South division. So Jalen Hurts, he kind of had an up and down season, and plus he been knocked out of a few games because of injury. But I'm gonna go with experience, and you can't go against Tom Brady on this one, folks. So we're gonna go with the Buccaneers, hands down, over the Eagles in the first matchup for Sunday. All right, our second matchup, we have the 10-7 San Francisco 49ers. They ended the season on a hot streak. They've struggled a lot this season, and especially their quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Kyle Shanahan, their coach. Like I said, they're not sure what to expect. And they was able to knock off the Arizona Cardinals in their own division. And also gave the LA Rams, a.k.a. the Sheep, some trouble this season too. So they're deserving of a wild card spot as they travel to Big D, Dallas, Texas, and AT&T Stadium, a.k.a. Jerry Dome or Jerry's World, to take on the NFC East division champion, the Dallas Cowboys, a.k.a. the Cowpokes. Like I said, the Cowboys had their flashes of brilliance this season. And then, of course, they had a couple of instances where they weren't so brilliant. And like I say, even Dak Prescott coming back from injury from last year, tearing up his ankle last year. And he got banged up a few games too as well this year, and the offense kind of sputtered a little bit. But like I said, I'm probably looking for a upset pick of the week for wild card weekend, and I think this might be the game that might happen. So we're going to go with the 49ers over the Dallas Cowboys in a close one, folks. I know a lot of folks might not want to hear that, but oh well, this is my show. And if you like it, fine. If you don't like it, too bad. Too sad. But we're going to go with the 49ers over the Cowboys in an upset for this wild card weekend. And our third game for Sunday evening game, that is, we have the Steelers 9-7-1 traveling to Arrowhead Stadium to take on the defending AFC champion and the AFC West division champ, the Kansas City Chiefs. Like I said, there were some moments, we thought Kansas City was struggling this year at the beginning of the season. They were like 3-2 or 2-3 in the first 5 games of the season, and everybody thought they were really off their game. Patrick Mahomes and company. But they managed to turn things around and finally got their act together, and they managed to dominate the AFC West, and they won the AFC West division. Like I said, the Steelers, this is probably the last hoorah for Ben Roethlisberger after a long, distinguished 18-year career with the Steelers. And Mike Tomlin still keeping churning there in the Steel City. So with that being said, we're going to go with, Patrick Mahomes and company and the Kansas City Chiefs and Andy Reid. All right, our last pick for this wild card weekend, and like I said, the first Monday night wild card game, is a kind of like more the rematch number 3 in the NFC West division, where we have the 11-6 Arizona Cardinals traveling to the SoFi Stadium, hosts of this year's Super Bowl on February 13th in Inglewood. It's a pretty nice stadium, and I hope I get the chance to see this game if I'm lucky. Like I said, I doubt if I'll be able to go to the Super Bowl unless by some miracle somebody drops me a ticket for the Super Bowl, or I come across some large sums of money and I can buy a ticket from somebody, or somebody gifts me a ticket, a late birthday present, if you will. Hint, hint. But anyway, like I said, the Cardinals, they kind of had an up and down year as well. With Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, he struggled a little bit, banged up with injuries, stuff like that. And like I said, they ended the season on a very not too good following. They lost to the 49ers in the last game of the season last week. And of course, to the Seahawks, of course. So, and the Rams, like I said, Matthew Stafford, he seemed like he became the big winner in that trade between him and Jared Goff. They sent their former starting quarterback Jared Goff to the Detroit Lions, and they picked up an aging veteran and of course, former Georgia quarterback. Give a shout out to the new college football national champion, the University of Georgia Bulldogs, baby. Hey, I know that was a little plug there for college football, but hey, got to throw in that Georgia connection. Matthew Stafford. So, with that being said, and the Rams playing hot as well, and also it has another former Georgia player at running back, Sony Michel, who was drafted by the New England Patriots 3 or 4 years ago, and he won a Super Bowl with the Patriots against the Rams about 2 or 3 years ago in the Super Bowl in that 13-3 game. So, with that being said, we're going to pick the Rams over the Cardinals in this matchup, folks. So, as you might well have noticed, this is going to be a very short podcast episode today. And we're going to go over our Wildcard weekend picks, shall we? We got the Bengals over Raiders in a close one. We got the Bills over the Patriots. We got for today's matchup, for Saturday matchup. For Sunday matchup, we got the Buccaneers handily over the Eagles. And we have the 49ers over the Cowboys in an upset pick of the week. And we have the Chiefs over the Steelers. And for the Sunday night matchup and our first Monday night matchup, we have the Rams over the Cardinals. All right, folks, that about does it for Wildcard Weekend's picks of Big Flem Radio and TV for Big Flem's Pigskin Picks NFL Edition for the Wildcard Weekend. So tune in again next week for another short podcast episode with the divisional round, and we will let you know who will play who in the division round next week. And again, we want to send a special happy birthday shout out to the creator, producer, writer, and host of Big Flem Radio and TV podcast channel, as well as this podcast show, yours truly, Lorenzo Wendell Fleming, aka Big Flem, who made his debut into this world on Monday, January 15, 1968, at 12:17 a.m. in Liberty County, Georgia, at Liberty Memorial Hospital, the son of Rose Marie Fleming and Fleming Roberts of Brunswick. So, happy birthday, and many more blessings to you. All right, folks. Until then, take care, you be safe, and with this Omicron variant really, hitting us hard here across the United States and around the world, there's been question about probably moving the Super Bowl out of Inglewood, California, but California officials reassured the NFL that the Super Bowl will still go on at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. So, like I say, you do what you got to do, maintain social distancing, wash your hands for at least 20 seconds, use hand sanitizer, and definitely wear a mask, especially the medical grade HN95 or is it N95 surgical mask. they say the cloth mask will not cut it anymore and stuff like that. So please, and also if you so choose, get the vaccine, whether it's Pfizer, Moderna, the two-shot series or the one-shot series like I did, the Johnson and Johnson. Like I said, there are always risk of side effects, and there's always something wrong. Like I said, please keep this in mind, folks, that we all are going to die. Every one of us is going to die one day. We're going to die of something. It's just a matter of how and when. So please try not to freak out too much about this current pandemic that is going on in the world. So, and like I say, if you choose not to get the vaccine, that is your choice. But as for me and my household, we got the vaccine and we got the booster as well. So do what you got to do to take care of yourself and your family members and your co-workers, and especially those who have, pre-existing health conditions. Also think about them, and as well as the elderly and the very young and the newborns as well, and those who have, immune system compromises. Please, 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 please do the right thing and do what you got to do so we can turn this tide on this coronavirus pandemic. We got to do what we got to do to help turn the tide. And of course, there might be another variant popping out of the woodworks real soon, and we must be prepared for that. So we got to do our part, folks. So now I'm going to get off my soapbox, and I say tune in again next week for another episode of Big Flem's Pigskin Picks NFL edition here on Big Flem Radio and TV. And also I'm going to throw in a quick plug for Big Flem's Radio and TV podcast channel. Like I said, there's 6 podcast shows dedicated to music, sports, mainly college football and NFL, talk, and veterans issues and information. Like I said, if you want to be a guest picker, prognosticator for the rest of the NFL season, or if you want to make a dedication on one of our music shows, or if you want to make a comment on one of our talk shows, or you want to send us a comment as far as how we're doing at Big Flem Radio and TV, and also give us some tips to help improve our podcast channel. And also, if you want to, and like I said, by all means, do so. Send us an email at bigflemradioandtv@gmail.com. Again, that's bigflemradiotv, one word. That's BIGFLEM as in Mike, RADIOTV @gmail.com. And put in the subject line either request, pigskin picks, or comments. Or you just want to say hello, say hi. And also you can put in there to wish the creator and host, Lorenzo Wendell Fleming, yours truly, a happy birthday as well. You can do that as well. And also, please check out the online store where we have Big Flem Radio and TV theme merchandise or merch. Please check it out. And also, you can use the social media platform. We have a Twitter handle at Flem_radio. Again, that's at Flem, FLEM as in Mike, _radio, RADIO. We also have a Facebook group page under Big Flem Radio and TV. And also, we have a YouTube channel under the same name, Big Flem Radio TV. We don't have that many videos we're recording, but we made a promise this year that we're going to make some videos to coincide with some of our audio podcast channel shows. So please check those out. And also like and subscribe the YouTube channel. And also, like the Big Flem Radio and TV Twitter handle as well. Again, until then, tune in next week, and God bless, be safe, and tune in again for another episode of Big Flem's Pigskin Picks NFL Edition for Division Weekend here on Big Flem Radio TV. So long. Again, stay safe, and God bless, and be a blessing to someone. Peace and progress. Big Flem's Pigskin Picks NFL and College Football Editions are a production of Black Rebel Productions in association with Flem Media, a division of LWF Enterprises, LLC. The opening theme music clips are the sole properties of CBS Sports College Football as well as Fox NFL Sports. This podcast is intended for entertainment purposes only. Hey folks, This is Lorenzo Big Flem Fleming, host, creator of Big Flem Radio and TV podcast channel. As you all know, we are rolling into the second year of this coronavirus pandemic, and right now there's a new variant that is posing a serious threat to our health and well-being. If you haven't known by now, it's the Omicron variant, and so far is surpassing the previous variant, the Delta variant. So, like I said, I know it's very unpleasant and very uncomfortable, but please, 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 we got to stay cognizant of our health and well-being of our fellow man. Please practice social distancing. Stay 6 feet apart from others. Make sure you wear your mask. Make sure you use your hand sanitizers, and definitely wash your hands at least 20 seconds. And if you are vaccinated, please, by all means, get the booster from Pfizer. And if you're not vaccinated, well, like I said, my personal opinion is that you should get the vaccine. There's a lot of ifs and unknowns out there, and a lot of people are afraid, and a lot of people don't want to be told what to do in reference to their health. But in order for us to combat this COVID-19 pandemic, we got to do our part to do what needs to be done. So I would encourage you, like I say, it is up to you. It is your decision whether you get the vaccine or not. So please take your life seriously, take your family and your loved ones' lives seriously, and do what needs to be done in order to minimize this COVID pandemic. Big Flem Radio and TV cares, and I hope to see you soon in this new year as we continue to battle this COVID-19 pandemic. So please be safe out there.
Who are you?
We're Big Flem Radio and TV.